G'day and welcome to my garage.
We have a slight alignment problem. The screw, the pin is representing the screw in the screw support. That's not mounted yet, but before I mount it I have to get the screw height correct. It's sitting about they're working on the universal compound, of course. So it's sitting about 4 millimeters. Well, in this case too high, but it's upside down, so too low. So the screw support, that needs to come down about 3 or 4 millimeters to line up with the about 3 millimeters, because that line, start again, that bottom lower line there is the centre of the tunnel casting. So at the present moment, if I put the thread in there and put the screw in there, it's going to be too low in the casting, and I'd have to machine out or grind out by hand, because I'm back home, so I haven't got a milling machine. I'd have to dig it out by hand with a rotary burr to get some clearance for the screw. So the screw has to drop down about 3 millimeters, because that's a 12mm pin and the screw is an 8mm screw, so I don't have to come down 4. I can come down 3. It should clear the tunnel on the inside. If it doesn't, then I'll have to machine it out by hand, or grind it out by hand. But yes, the screw support has to be machined down to bring that screw level down to about the centre of the casting. So why am I not centering that? Why is it not centering the tunnel? Well, first start off with, I've checked Gingery's measurements, and going by the 1/8 of an inch thickness of the land, 1/4 inch thickness of the plate, and 1/2 to 3/4 thickness of the 3/4 inch thickness of the tunnel material itself, and then comparing that and then the measurement of the screw support boss, which is 1 5/8 inches. Anyhow, you put all that together, and the centre of this hole is 1/16 of an inch below the centre of the tunnel. So I work in metric, so that's 1.58, so 1.6 mil. Now I've measured the offset to centre, and I am 4 millimeters out, but this plate here, there is a 1.5 millimeter bow in that plate going to the left. Then there's the 1.5 or 1.6, so 1.5, and then 1.6 millimeter below centre. That's in his drawings anyhow. 1.6. The thickness of this plate. This is a metric plate, so it's 6 millimeters and a quarter is 6.34. So let's just round that up to 0.5. So what do we got now? 3.6 mil difference, and I've got 4 mil difference. Is that right? Yeah. So between the thickness of the plate and the bow of this casting here, and the offset gingery hat of 1.5 millimeters off centre. Yeah, that gives me 3.6, and I'm 4 mil, and I'm not wearing my magnifiers, so I could be 3.6 mil out. It's neither here nor there when it comes to my eyesight. So I'm on track. I have to compensate for these two variables, the bow on the plate and the thickness of the way. So I'll just have to decide which side to use. I'll probably machine this side down. I just have to take out, we'll say 3 millimeters, which is going to cut into the round section here of the boss, but that doesn't matter. That's okay, I can live with that. It's a bummer because I'll lose the round up there, but that's all right. I can live with that. Yeah, bit of a bummer, but oh well. That's why it is different. So I think I'll move on to machining the centre out to take the bushing. Whoops. The bushing, machining off. That's the rough side. That was the machine side, so I'll leave that one. I'll machine this one down and then mount it on there. So that's the plan of attack. We start doing the screw support next. Alright. It happens. Not to worry. Well, I've got the spindle support, screw support mounted in the faceplate. I've machined it. I've still got 0.9 of a mil to take off. .2. So 0.4 to come off. Okay. spot on. As I mentioned earlier, I'd be taking some of the round section out, but I should be good for the centre. Alright, we'll see how that works. Well, I've machined that off, and I'm now at the correct height for the screw. It's about 1.5 millimeters above the centre line, or it's upside down, so it's actually below the centre line of the tunnel, and that's what Gingery calls for, 1/16 of an inch, or whatever that worked out to be. It was 1.5, close enough. So I'll what have I got left? Still I've got a lot more to go. So anyhow, I'll do the bushing, and I'll mount this all up. We'll catch you a little bit later. The screw support has to be bored out to take the bushing. The bushing's 18 millimeters. I'm currently at 15 millimeters. So let's continue on. I get showered in the shavings, that's why I'm using the shield. Okay, that's 17, just confirming, 18.1, so I'll take a quarter/half. That will press in. Okay. Yep, I can take it out. That's not coming out in a hurry. Well, I've drilled the 2 holes in this tongue plate. I've already drilled and tapped one. I've got it square into this corner as best I can. And before I drill that one, I need to ensure, one, that it is square to this plate, which it is. So yeah, I'm squaring it up to the way, not the main housing, the tongue there, because if that edge isn't right, then the screw is going to run off on an angle. So this screw support is now 90 degrees to the movement of the tongue, and if I drop my test bar down, come on, lift up. I dropped my test bar down. You probably can't see it, but it lines up with the centre mark of that tunnel, and it's about 1.5 millimetres above below the centre line of that piece of the housing. So that's actually lined up. I can now drill spot drill that. I only need to drill through, so this is the 3.3 drilling size. If you notice, it is wider. It's flush on that side, but it's wider on this side. I knew that I actually put extra metal on both sides so that I could get this screw support to line up with the tunnel. This can now come off. Now I can take the tongue out to 4 mil clearance. Put this bloke away. And I'm heading off to the drill press. I just have to just make sure I've got that in the right spot. Going to centre punch the screw position. That's good. Starting to look good. It's the bloke next door with his stupid motorbike. And that's all he ever does with it. Starts it up, runs it. Just squaring this up to make sure it's drilling right. Okay, let's see how that turned out. Well, the centre is good, of course, and it also clears the tunnel. So the position was good. Righto, off to thread. Should that motorbike blow up, I would feel very sorry for him. Noisy thing. Okay, that's all the way through. Well, I went to put this together, and yeah, when I fitted it on, couldn't get the silly thing back in there. It wasn't wasn't too tight on the sides. It was tight on the clamps, where the clamps will run anyhow. I couldn't get it in. Oh, I could, but it was very, very difficult. So I worked out that, well, hoped that this plate was bent. I only had three screws in here up until this point, and I'd forgotten about that. And yeah, after doing drilling the screw, I had this off so I could drill and tap that. I put this back on. I put it back on with all 6 screws, and from that point I had trouble getting it to slide nicely in here. It was sliding nicely before, so I rechecked my plate. It was pretty good, both sides pretty good. But what I did notice that the face that the waist clamps to, I hadn't scraped before. It was still straight off the milling machine. So anyhow, I blued it up and I hand scraped it. Got it got a good contact area on the base. Put the plate back on, blued the plate. A couple of areas that were still a little bit out. So rather than hand scraped, I honed the 400 stone. I just honed the areas where that were high. That worked pretty quick. Only spent about 10 minutes on that. Got it good. Put it together, and look at it. Slides one finger now. So, yep. Still have to adjust the gib, but yeah, don't forget to face the surface off. Even though you've got a 5-6 mil plate bolted to it, it will pull the plate out of shape. Anyhow, that's diagnosed, fixed, and back in. Continue on. I'm doing 20 thou cuts at the present moment. I might try a little bit more. 20 thou. 10 is a quarter. So that's a quarter of a millimetre. So that's half a millimetre cut at the moment. This is the this handle spindle for the screw. The screw for the I've forgotten what I'm making. What am I making? The universal compound slide. So this is the drive spindle for the screw. This has got to be 12 mil. Gee. Still must be a slight taper in this. That's it. Alright, I'm going to turn it around and machine this hub. Catch you later. Alright, what I have now, I've machined this shaft down for a nice fit, not a tight fit, a nice fit. Now this part here, there's a 3mm shoulder, and then the rest of it gets turned down to 10mm and goes, is that going to be right? Yep. And we'll go into there drilled and pinned the same as that. So that's the drive screw mechanism. That's the screw support. As part of the, I didn't show the machining, but in the back of this, because the bush is not the full width of this housing, I put a step just here, so that's why there's a step just there. I've got to knock that corner off a bit, but yes, there's the outside will stay at there'll be a, like I said, a 3mm step, and then turn down to the rest of it, turn down to 10mm, which should, so 10mm, that's correct, and I should have, yep, 15mm. So 3 mils, that leaves me 12 mil, and if I remember correctly, this shaft should be, that should be 10, I think. Okay, what have we got? 11, but then a little bit of gap in there, so 10. That's 15. So I could actually leave a 5mm shoulder on there. 10mm left, enough to go into there. Yep. Alright, 4 or 5mm shoulder. So I shall progress. So this has got to come down to 10. It's currently at 12.2. Can't remember where I'm at now. So that was a mil, and down to 11. Take a half a millimetre cut. Well, quarter of a mil, half all up. So 10.5. So 9.8. So what was I at? 10.5. 10.5. Shouldn't have moved. Nearly. That's it, a little bit of play so that I allow the thread to roll around a bit. So I just got to clean up that inside edge. Very nice. Just got to drill that through, peg it, and we've got a very nice coupling. Alright. Right, so this is the spindle for the handle. That's it complete. There's the drawing of it. I think we've actually matched the drawing, amazing as it might seem. So this nicely slides in there to offer some support for this spindle. As I said, that gets pegged on there, and I've still got to drill and put a set screw in that and make up a washer to go in here. And there we have the excuse me, the universal compound sliding head, spindle and screw. So this is getting awfully close. Alright, more to come. I already had this tool post holder front. This is the original one off the lathe, the mini lathe. So yeah, this is it. This is a lot of work, considering it is an accessory. It's not a primary component of the milling machine. This turns the mill into a pseudo lathe.